number. You'll get on the streets. Yeah.
So
Then accept it. All right. So today we're going to be talking about selective friendships. Or being selective with friends. How long have you been doing that? Presumably you've been doing that.
you don't even know that I've been doing that.
I mean, have you? You have, right?
Yeah, I did some thinking on it. I can't really remember when it started.
Yeah.
Dude, I think all of this shit started when I really just wanted to get down to the nuts and bolts of like why I wasn't happy with myself, or I was always seeking things to make me happy. And there was a lot of that just was involved in things that you couldn't control, and that a lot of that was people that you couldn't control, or why you were accepting things without talking about why they were bugging you, being more expressive. And I think that's when selective friendship, it kind of starts handling itself.
True.
When you start having uncomfortable conversations with people and it's not reciprocated, you can't. How do you keep going with a relationship where you can't talk openly, be heard, have them not get upset about it, and then also be able to talk to you in a way that's reciprocal of that? And if you can't do that, I don't know how you keep moving in the direction that you want to be moving in. But I think that's the more normal thing to do, is to just work in that coded space of not saying what's on your mind because you know it's going to get accepted badly, or you're going to hurt their feelings, or it's going to be a big fucking deal. So you just don't do it. And that builds its own angst, right? Because then you're censoring yourself, which makes you feel worse in the end about the whole situation. And that goes back to that thing that we always keep talking about, is just telling the truth or living in that truth makes the most habitable environment to live your life in. And when you're not doing that, you feel it, regardless of why you're not doing it. But a lot of times we're doing it for someone else. We're doing it on their behalf. And I think when you stop doing that and you're like, no, I'm living the truth. And if that fucks up your feelings about it, that's on you. Like, maybe you need to start doing it. But at the end of the day, I can't make you do that. And most people aren't ready to do that, like, ever. So.
Yeah. Or it's like, good to know, like, that you can't hang, because now I don't have to.
I think that's once you're in it for a while, that's where you get with it.
Yeah.
You get to the point where you're happy to see it up front. Like we talked about, like giving people things immediately just to see if they'll take it. Are you gonna abuse the privilege?
Right.
And take something?
This is my last $10.
Yeah.
You can have it if you want it.
Hey man, you got $10?
If you really need it.
Dude, it's my last $10, but yeah, you can have it. Right on, thanks.
Yeah.
You didn't give two shits about taking my last fucking $10? Like, I guess we're good. I know what kind of person you are.
I bought Twinkies.
So that for me was a big turn. I had a situation where someone did something inappropriate while we were camping, and I waited. Everybody was heavily intoxicated. Everybody was fucking drinking. They're having a good time. They're partying, doing whatever. But they crossed the line on something. So the next day I brought it up to him. Like, dude, I didn't fucking appreciate that. And if it happens again, there's going to be problems. Like, that was the first one. I'll let it slide. That's the first time it's ever happened. We all make mistakes, but I need you to acknowledge that that was at least a mistake on your side. And you're going to tell me that it won't happen again, or I'm done with this. And it turned into not like a blame game, but like oh man, I don't even remember doing that. I was so drunk, I don't remember. That's also not okay. That means you took yourself to a place where you failed to regulate your own self. If you do that anywhere else, the cops don't care that you don't remember driving here drunk.
And they also believe that, like, yeah, I'm not accountable for the things I don't remember.
Right. Really? I don't remember doing that. Well, now I'm letting you know you did, and 10 people saw it.
Right.
So if you don't believe me, you can ask them. But at the end of the day, it was your actions that you're in control of. And if you're not, you should remove yourself
Mm-hmm.
or just not let yourself get to that point.
So now you're kind of talking on boundaries, creating boundaries with people.
And I think that comes through. That's
Right.
how you start selecting these friendships or being selective with your friendships is is um who's respectful of the boundaries when they're set instead of upset that you have boundaries for them.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Yeah.
willing to accept the responsibility.
And that can get tricky if you've been friends with someone for a long time, and then you begin to set boundaries, or
Yeah.
you yourself begin to change or evolve in a way that is like divergent with whatever the path that friendship was on. Or
And that was definitely the case with this one. Is like somebody you've known for a long time, and then they just did something that was like,
mm-hmm.
that's not okay. So
Mm.
don't. And you may have never done that before, and then it's like, oh, what is like what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you to tell me that? Like, you know what I mean? It's a weird situation, but
Yeah.
after that point, I think if you have that experience or you have that mindset going forward, that when you're trying to meet new people, it's almost like a zero tolerance deal. It's just not there. It's not gonna. As soon as they show
Yeah.
anything, like, hey, don't.
Yeah. The forgiveness factor, time matters, right? If you've known someone for 10 years,
Because you're
known
losing
someone
a
for
lot
a
of
year.
buildup. You have like a lot of invested interest in that relationship.
Well, you can track their normal behavior. Like I know how you are
Oh, that's
typically,
true.
and I
Yeah.
can understand that this is not a usual
Mm.
thing you do. But if someone, if in first interaction does that,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna assume they're probably generally like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This will keep happening,
Yeah.
and I'm not about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more of the route that I've taken as of late.
Mm. I just like having moved a lot throughout my life. At some point, I realized that the people around me were shaping me, especially going from like school to school as a young child. You realize that each school has its own kind of culture, and then when you move to a new school, you have to adapt to that new culture. And so then I was different in different environments and around different people. And then the older I got, I kept the trend of moving going and constantly putting myself around new people. And I started to realize that like the people you keep in your life kind of have an expectation for who they're dealing with when they are around you. And we need that. Like we need like to be able to assume how someone's going to react to us
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
helpful in certain situations that you're trying to figure out what they would do.
Right. And people will it started to feel like I just wanted to continuously grow and evolve, and I felt like people were kind of holding me to what they believed, who they believed I was.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I dipped out of the lines of that a little bit, then they would be a little bit caught off guard or upset or whatever. Like, so then I started to feel kind of constrained by relationships of any kind. But I don't want to be just like, a hermit either or antisocial.
Yeah, you don't want to have no relationships, but you don't want the relationships you have to hold you to some standard that you were a year ago.
Yeah, I want people to know that like
That's a big thing, dude. It's hard to make those changes and have you not put yourself back in that. You feel weird
right.
doing new things
Mm-hmm.
because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're leaving the box
Right.
that you've made yourself. And when other people see it, they'll be like, "Whoa, like
You're not supposed to be doing that.
yeah, what are you doing?"
Yeah. And then that makes it harder
For yourself.
for yourself.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
cuz
to keep doing
it makes you kind of like backtrack back into their
their expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's very difficult. And the longer that's set in, it seems like the harder it is to leave it.
For sure. For sure.
It's just like slow setting concrete. The longer it got time to just sit there in somebody's brain and let that be their image of you,
Mm-hmm.
it's harder and harder to leave it.
Yeah, especially if that relationship is valuable to you. Maybe you want to stay you know, anyways,
That was really difficult for me when I wanted to start making a lot of life changes that I didn't feel like I was living up to the my fullest potential if I would try more things that were just uncomfortable. Leaving my own box, right? And doing that inside of a marriage, a long-term marriage.
yeah, I have no idea what that's like.
That's wild, dude. And if you don't have someone that's willing to be receptive of that, I could see how it could be a big deal. Like when we talked about picking someone that you really think you'd like to marry, you could almost cross out all of the things other than physical attraction to you, to individual person.
Mm-hmm.
You may not like the same things I like. That's not important, but they're attractive to you to keep you physically interested, and the willingness to always be able to change.
Yes, huge.
And then communication. If you have those three things, if you're attracted to the person, they're okay with changing and understand you're going to change and they're going to change,
Yeah.
and you have a serious level of communication, you're golden, dude. What could fuck that up?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all just gonna be a conversation, and then I'm gonna start operating this way now. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let me see how I need to change to make that work.
Especially communication, because we were just talking about how like you kind of like people will essentially like put on a mask depending on who they're around, right? They're just kind of withholding certain sides of themselves. And I think a lot of people get into relationships still also doing that, right? Like if you can't be transparent with the person that you're spending all your time with, that's just going to be disastrous at some point.
Eventually,
Yeah, because you can't just
you're either
keep it.
hating that you're not yourself,
Yeah,
or you're just scared that they'll see something they don't like and leave.
or yeah, and maybe you're starting to resent this person for not letting you be yourself, but really it's you not letting you be yourself.
And maybe they would have been fine with it the whole time. You just never showed it, so they just had to know this was you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, so as I kept moving, I started to really just consider that when I met people, like is this person, if I don't think I can avoid the influence of other people. Like you spend time around someone, it's going to rub off on you. And the more time you spend around people, the more likely that becomes. So then I'm like, well, then I need to spend my time around people who like that would be a net positive thing.
Yes, I was just gonna say, I think that's not only normal, but that's a good strategy to have.
Yeah,
Every time you get into a new group, what are the better things that they're doing that I have not incorporated in my life yet?
right,
And let me adopt those.
right.
If you start taking the bad shit, oh, this person smokes, maybe I'll smoke to be more social. Well, that's your counter. This is not
Yeah,
working to your advantage. But
yeah.
constantly changing. New friend group. What are they doing that I'm not doing?
Mm-hmm.
We had talked about that a lot. Like if you're the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle.
Yeah,
What do you
sure.
have to gain from that circle?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have a sub circle that you hang out in, and maybe you're the smartest person in that circle for them. But you still need your circle
Yeah.
where you can grow,
Mm-hmm.
or else you're stagnant.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw a saying that was the worst place to be is the same place you were last year.
Sure.
And it's like, you haven't grown at all.
Yeah.
And then you think about people when you do stuff that's outside the box, and then a friend will say, like, man, you changed.
Mm-hmm.
No shit. Like, isn't that the point?
Yeah.
We're living this whole life to only do what we were doing when we were 18.
Right.
How long do you expect that to be a thing? That's
God.
ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of 18-year-olds out there who are 40 years old.
Or 40-year-olds that are 18.
That's yeah. That's
Same.
what I mean.
Yeah, I guess it's the same deal. But yeah, just have gone nowhere mentally.
Mm-hmm. They're keeping those MTV shows alive.
Or the old bands. I remember getting contacted by people in a friend group that was super pumped about Blink 182 coming back. They sent me the tickets, and they were like $300 for like nosebleeds. I'm like, dude, that would be a cool nostalgia thing to check out. Not at that price point. Like, this is fucking ridiculous.
It's hard to take seriously, you know, good for Blink 182 for making this career, but like when you're a 40 something, you're a 50-year-old man going, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
and "I'm so sorry." It's like that's you don't got to do that anymore.
Or just the old bands, dude. Like Mick Jagger gonna go back and like, dude, you looked dead in the 80s. You were skin and bone,
Yeah.
just beat up looking, tired, too many drugs. And you're coming back 20 years later, 30 years later. Good God.
Yeah, that's sad. But their whole career at a certain point is being fueled by nostalgia. That's why you need those young spirits, I guess.
I
So,
guess.
so do you have like a criteria for friendship? You're meeting someone new. Have you made friends as an adult? When's the last time you made a friend?
Uh, like someone you've never
You
known
didn't know, yeah.
previously. It's difficult.
It is.
Like, where do you even end up doing that, right?
Yeah.
I think, and I wouldn't even call it a friendship. We've only met up once, but that dude that I had talked to on Reddit that we had very similar interests, and then he ended up being in a very similar location
Mm-hmm.
and into business, also had a small circle. The people I'm looking for are also not looking for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the few looking for the few
Yeah.
because that's just the trajectory that I'm on, and that's really the only thing that's intriguing to me right now. So to find people that are very business minded and always working on intellectual maturity,
Mm-hmm.
there's a level that you'll get to eventually where you're like, how many people am I actually looking for?
Yeah, I don't know if that.
Who wants to put themselves through this fucking agony every day of analyzing everything they do and making sure it's the correct thing and it's
Yeah.
the most positive way to do it? It's fucking hard, dude. It's hard and it sucks. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything to second guess everything you're doing and make sure it's the right decision for the right reasons. You haven't put any emotion into this. It just is the right way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never ending. Like every choice you do, talking the way you did to your kid, like
Yeah.
just everything. And
Yeah.
the amount of people that have the energy or the want to even devote energy to that column in their life is already low. Then you have to take out people that are just barely surviving with a 9 to 5 job and trying to put food on the table. That's the furthest fucking thing from your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't even come across your radar yet
Yeah.
because you're so fucking exhausted by the time you just get done with work and making dinner and cleaning the house and making sure it's good. Also, you can do it again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
When's that gonna jump in there and be like, this is a real priority?
Yeah.
After your kids leave, maybe, and you're not so fucking busy, I could see it happening.
Right.
Which is, I think, is why it comes in older crowds.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always felt like that my whole life. Me and Tiffany have always fit in with people that are 10 years older than us.
Yeah.
It makes it awkward, like physically, to be there because it's just kind of different.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Or their kids are like leaving high school and mine are like 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, well, we're in the same place mentally. I'm just physically way behind you.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, the recent conversations that I've had with my mom, we've not had that great of a relationship over the past 10 years. Very distant, happy Mother's Day, happy birthday type shit, and that's the only time you really talk. And then recently we had those conversations that went a lot deeper and realized like, whoa, like you aren't just talking about change that you've been talking about for 10 years, you're changing. You're making that conscious effort to hold yourself to that standard that no one else cares if you're doing it, but you need to care that you're doing it. And she hit a point where she's like, I've never had conversations like this with anyone else, like no other human being.
Right. That's crazy.
And she's looking at me like, how are you here at 35? And I'm looking at her like, how the fuck did it take you to 65 to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a weird duality, but it made sense. She's been in that fight or flight, struggle mode, single mother.
Totally.
Her entire life from 16. And then my youngest little brother just left the house like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it makes sense that you're just now getting there
Yeah.
because you didn't have the time to influence that thought.
Mm-hmm. You know, it makes me kind of wonder, like, how many people might have gone through a lot of changes because of the pandemic and the lockdown. You know, I was in a
Oh,
band.
just due to the extra time.
Yeah, I was in a band 2 years, and I had this plan. Like, we spent a year performing to kind of like tighten up all the songs. Then we recorded a demo, and we were going to release the demo, and then lockdown occurred. And I've been performing with these people for 2 years, or known them and performed for that long. And then I'm like really thinking about it all of a sudden, and it's kind of like, oh, these aren't the people that are gonna like make this successful. I think I thought of these people as like placeholders until the right people came along. But that doesn't feel good either. I don't want to fucking placehold people. And then I'm like,
You're saying it's not nice for them
yeah,
to be your stepping stone, your placeholder.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not nice for me to be at least misleading about that. Like, that can be the case if it's just discussed. Maybe that's something they're okay with, you know?
They've never thought about it.
Yeah, probably
The odds
not.
of them actually
Well,
having
it's tough. Like,
thought.
I'm looking at my band and I'm like, okay, well, this person's in like 3 other bands and mine. And this person, it kind of seems like a fun hobby to them, but they're not necessarily like making
Committed
it
to
their
the
life, right?
process, yeah.
So everybody is. I imagine it's similar if you're starting a business. It has to be a united front towards a singular goal. And if everybody's not on that page or in it for the same reason, it's not going to go in a steady direction towards any real goal.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever thought about bands
Mm-hmm.
and business being the same thing, but now that you said
It
it
is.
just clicked. What is the percentage rate of failure of bands? 90 something percent. I guess
More than that.
I guess it's a metric of how you
I can say this:
say what is successful, right? But
1% of bands get signed onto a record deal. 1% of that 1% end up being successful enough to pay back the loan, basically, and like continue.
really,
Yeah. So
1% of 1%.
pretty stark.
95% of all small businesses fail in the first 5 years.
Yeah. Noise.
98% of partnerships fail in the first 5 years.
Yeah.
So it goes from like
Makes sense.
really fucking high to astronomically high as soon as you involve another person.
Oh yeah.
How many people are in a band?
Mm-hmm.
You got a singer, maybe slash guitarist, another guitarist, a bass player, a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's 5 different ways to fuck this up. That's 5 different ways for someone to not think that this should be going the way it's going,
Yeah.
and then have some kind of personality clash.
There's like the absurdity of, and I'll try to bring this back onto selective friendship, but like Nirvana, those guys went to high school together. What are the odds of that? That you make it work from the people you went to high school with?
Well, probably better than
Maybe.
just finding people. Just like we had talked about, you're less willing to accept someone at face value
Yeah.
if you just met them, because your assumption is whatever you're doing right now is how you're going to keep going, and it'll probably get a little worse.
Yeah, and
But if you know people and they're comfortable staying in their box, and you're in a box, and everybody has their lane,
Mm-hmm.
as long as nobody tries to jump ship and leave the lane, you could probably all hold that together for a while until you've built up that resentment where it's like, this is not really what the fuck I'm doing or what I want to be or who I am, and
Right.
I've just been holding it because that's what you guys expect.
Yeah.
So I would say it's almost maybe more popular the other way, having people you've been around for a long time.
Yeah, especially because you're learning together and growing as individuals together at such an early age
Yeah.
that there's just going to be less. It's just going to be easier to communicate with someone like that.
And it may not be as difficult to jump at somebody who's brand new to being around you, and you're brand new to being, and you have expectations.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't manage your expectation that this is also, it's always a growing moment.
Yeah.
If you just like, hey, we need to hire a bass player, and the bass
Mhm.
player comes in, you're like, damn, you're pretty good, and he gets on the band, and then, wait, You don't know how to fucking do this? You
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever this is for a bass player, I have no fucking idea, but
Drive a
whatever
car.
whatever it is like, what? You know, you'll
Mm-hmm.
find out something that's just ridiculous or feels ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like unwilling to accept it, and then they're out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to find another one. Versus learning all together, you know what everybody's strengths and weaknesses are,
Yeah.
and you're all kind of comfortable working on them together and pointing them out.
Mm-hmm.
For the next song, you need to get better at XYZ. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can navigate that a lot easier for sure, knowing what to expect. So, you brought up your mom. When we're talking about like being selective with friends, how do you feel about applying that to family?
The same. It's all the same.
Hard stop, same thing. I mean, I
Usually.
feel the same way, but I suspect that I feel like there is a value that I have seen and not experienced, but just in the loyalty of people in families that are like very tight knit
I
who
think you're confusing two things that I've heard recently, and Tiffany and I discussed at length, that there's a difference between family
uh-huh.
and relatives. You are blood related
Okay.
to relatives,
Well, I'm talking relatives.
but you could have people that are family to you.
Right.
Not all
Sure.
relatives are family, and not all family are relatives.
Well, let's just be specific and narrow it down to immediate family, immediate relatives.
Blood related people.
Blood, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brothers, sisters, mom, dad.
Yeah.
Like
Like
are
for me, is there a delineation between who?
what I was trying to get at is like I have seen people I think benefit from the struggles of trying to maintain civility within a family of different personalities. And like they constantly come together and have to kind of bump heads here and there, but there's no doubts in the minds of these people that they're going to still come over for the holiday and possibly butt heads again, you know?
Yeah, I guess that might be a societal construct that we've kind of created for ourselves, because I can do that with very good friends too and be like, hey, we might, Justin and I don't always see eye to eye on everything,
Mhm.
but we know for the greater good, there's more writing, there's multiple businesses, there's properties, there's like family members that get along with other family. Like, what are you going to do? Oh, we're having an argument. Fuck you. We're not talking to you guys anymore. And I'm making that decision for everyone that's involved in two families.
Right.
That doesn't really
Sure.
work. So I know what you're saying for
That's a good
sure,
point. Yeah.
but I don't think that's exclusive to relatives and not people you just consider family. Because there's also an unhealthy side of that where you end up accepting people's bullshit because it's just easier. It's better. You know you're going to see them at Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to freak the fuck out at Christmas.
Yeah.
That kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
There's that side too, and I don't think that's healthy at all. If two sides can't communicate effectively and actually get to the point of reconciling whatever difference it was.
Right.
But I think that's a huge thing. I have relatives that maybe I would or wouldn't consider full on family, and I have people that I'm not related to at all that I'd be like, I'm way closer to them, and I would trust them a lot more than I would a relative in that situation.
Mhm.
That's going to be,
Have you
everybody's individualism, but
have you had do you have childhood friends?
how far back?
How far back
Like
does it
just
go?
anything under 18?
Who's your longest friend that still remains close?
I mean, I have people I see a couple times a year. We bump into each other at work. We'll talk. We'll bullshit. We might go camping with them from seventh grade, eighth grade.
That's pretty cool. And what are those friendships like? It's just like that, like time doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but they're not like the best relationships you have. It's just
Yeah, I have some categories of friendship that might help us out, and I'll run this by you. See what you think. So we have everyday allies or acquaintances, people you like go to work with, maybe go to the gym with, hobbies, whatever. Um, and you might have good conversation, but it's not necessarily like the people you open up to in particular.
Or even talk to all that much. It's like
Yeah,
exclusively in those
in those
situations. Like I
situations.
would never call somebody from work about something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's like historical friends, which would be like a childhood friend, right? Even if you like don't speak for a while, you can reconnect pretty easily. Situational friends, it's kind of like acquaintances, I suppose, but maybe it's more open to like growth. Aspirational friends, people you kind of can see yourself being friends with, would like to be friends with, not quite there yet or something.
But just aren't currently.
And then like boundary connections, that's going to be people who you're like friendly with, but like you have to like keep them at a distance in a sense.
Mm.
And there's kindred spirits, which are like deeper, relatable people. And growth friends, which you have a deep respect for, even if you're not emotionally close with.
That might be more of like a professional standpoint, right? Like
Yeah.
someone that maybe got to a point professionally that you'd like to get to, so you respect
Yes,
the hustle,
exactly.
but you don't know them that well. You bumped into them, you met them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as an adult, let's for growth friends, that's what I'm mostly looking for, right? I'm looking for people who like, what do you have that I don't have that I would like, and hopefully I can offer you something too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's mutually beneficial.
That's more of where my attention is pointed now.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to I think it's hard to get that deep with people that you don't know already. To get to that point of like I'm interested in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've been up to. Is any of that,
Yeah.
tickle your fancy? Like, is any of that looking in a direction that you're trying to go also?
Yeah.
I think that's hard to get to with people you just met because it's always just getting past the weird,
Mm-hmm.
the bullshit of the we just met. And I don't want to
Yeah.
jump too far into anybody's stuff. Tiffany's very reserved, stand back, watch. She gets like she's probably a bitch because she's just sitting over there, stuck up. When she's just like analyzing everything to see like at what point should I jump in and be like, oh yeah, I relate to that, and then have a good conversation.
Isn't that weird how people will attack someone for not socializing? Or like
Again, it's social
become
cues
weary? Sure.
because people that are fucking rude and just sit back and judge everyone because they're insecure, they have the same behavior. It looks the same on the
Right.
outside.
Sure, that's a good point.
So I can see that like people do that. And
Sorry.
she's putting a lot of effort into changing that around, being more outgoing up front
Mm-hmm.
so that it makes people around her more comfortable to open up and share about something so then she can jump in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've just always been like okay with sharing my interests first. So if I notice a group is quiet or whatever, I don't mind being the first one to say something and open it up. And
Yeah, you've always been pretty extroverted.
yeah,
Yeah.
but she's not. So
Right.
it's always like a funny. She like just rides behind me as I'm like, hey, 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 talking to everybody.
Yeah. God. I used to be a lot more like that for sure. I think there was a time in my life where I would just go to the grocery store and make conversation with like four different people while trying to get food or something.
Do you do that anymore?
Not as much. No.
I'll still do that.
Yeah.
I just like little comments just to see if people are fucking people.
Yeah, for
Can
sure.
you just be a person in this
Yeah.
weird situation that we're all in, plucking food
Mhm.
off the shelves here?
I do like to over engage someone who's like working because that's when it really feels dehumanized, like a cashier.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's talk to this person like a person and not just like not even make eye
Yeah.
contact. And then a lot of the times, people really appreciate that because they've gone their whole day without any acknowledgement. So they're like, oh shit, you saw me, you know?
Or any kind of stimulation that felt like real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do stuff like that a lot and feel people out. And same thing in professional places
Mm-hmm.
or professional positions that they have to hold and uphold a certain way of doing things. I'll let them know that like it's a safe place to just be fucking normal.
Yeah.
So I'll drop a cuss word in or say something funny or like talk trash the business a little bit. Like that must be annoying for you, to give them the right to like, yeah, that fucking shit is annoying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there you go. Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, we're here. We can talk.
Walls.
Otherwise, just like, yes, yes, sir. Yeah, have a great
Right.
day. Paper or plastic? You want car? What do you? We can just be normal.
Yeah.
Like you have a life and I have one. And as soon as you took the apron off and walked out of here, we'd just be two normal people.
Yeah.
We could do that. But it takes one side to do it, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
With the business stuff here, we have a lot of interaction like that when we're going through systems with people. I will tame down the cussing because that's a professional thing to do. You don't know who's not going to appreciate, that kind of contact. So, but as soon as they throw one out, where I'm like, okay, all
You just
right.
fucking shotgun blast them.
Yeah, I'm not going to just go off the rails at that point, but I can loosen up a little bit to just
Yeah.
make it easier to just be human and have that experience just be a lot softer instead of just
Oh yeah.
stiff, uptight.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's insane that anyone ever manages to traverse the social terrain of humans because everybody's so unique, and you have no idea what you're in for,
And every
where the
conversation is a
line
risk of
is.
offending someone.
Exactly, Mr. Peterson. Shout out. Oh, on friendship too. One thing that I like that he said is he's talking about relationship and how you seek a relationship where the best in you calls out the best in them. That's something I really noticed when it's gone awry. Is I was in a relationship with this girl who was very indulgent, and I have a side that's like that too. But I
Indulgent how?
just too much comfort seeking. Let's get stoned, watch a movie, and get Chinese takeout as often as possible.
Oh,
And like everything is very kind of gluttonous, you know?
with no end to it.
Yeah.
Like if you suggested it Monday through Friday,
Yeah.
she'd just say yes every time.
Yep.
And you almost need somebody that has that resistance of like, dude,
Yeah,
two
yeah,
or three
exactly.
times in 1 week, like, we got to get
Yeah,
fucking
let's
real
chill
here.
out. Yeah. But she really
Uh,
pulled that out of me more, and then it just derailed a lot of things at that moment in my life. It took my focus away from certain things. So, and with what Jordan Peterson's saying, considering like what are the best traits that you have to offer, does someone help like bring that to the surface more often, you know?
Or at least keep you from just falling into that rut that if no one was here, this is what I would just do.
Right.
Yeah,
Likes you, is
that
looking
is
out
big
for
time.
you. Have you, in this like evolution of deciding to be a little bit more selective with friends, was there a transition period where people were dropping off and maybe you had a stagnation of friendship
I
while
think
you're waiting for the next?
I'm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. It becomes, it's a hard place to be because you're fighting desperation. If you're a really social person, some people aren't, and maybe it's not a big deal to just be in solitude for long periods of time. I'm not that way. I'm always looking for the next idea that's outside of my head.
mm-hmm,
I've considered all the ideas that will come into mine,
mm-hmm,
but you don't know what you don't know. You can't consider things you've never thought of.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I like that exterior, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and that will become a thing that you'll really miss and really yearn for, to the point where you're just willing, you'll start down that same path of like, I'm willing to accept some of your
Right.
bullshit that I
You'll
normally
cave.
wouldn't, because you have ideas I never heard before, or you're stimulating mentally or other ways, right?
Hmm.
But it's I try to just stay true to like high caliber people, but
Yeah.
fuck, man,
Yeah.
there's not a lot out there.
For sure. Yeah.
Or if they are, they're in a place that's very guarded and similar to how I would be.
Right.
Like, all right, let me feel it out, but I'm not going to give too much because I don't want to put in the effort just to find out at the end of the night, wow, this was shit and for nothing.
Or very preoccupied. Because what if you find someone who, like, maybe both of you, you can tell, like, would really, could be good friends, but time doesn't really allow for it. Maybe
Yeah.
their friend list is full and they can't accept another person because they're already struggling to make time for the other people in their lives. You never
Or
know.
just the event that you met at is just doesn't
You're right.
like you go up for a speech at some work conference and you're like, dude, hey, I really enjoyed this conversation. I got 10 minutes and I got to be up here. I got to go figure this out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then you get done with the speech and you come back and you're looking for them, they're gone.
Right.
Well, they got like a whole Reddit for that. Missed
The
connections.
one that got away. Yeah, they got a Craigslist for that too.
Oh,
I used to go on there sometimes and read
how
them
much
just
does
because
that
it's
cost?
so funny. It's hilarious if you check it out on Craigslist. It's like, I saw you at the Circle K.
Yeah, they start describing them.
You looked at me and smiled, and so I'm pretty sure that you're in love with me.
That's so weird because at that point you have to basically be saying that it was special enough for me that I know it was special for you too, and you have to be looking for me also.
Right, yeah.
Only to just be told like, hey, they didn't care that much. They didn't even notice you. They were smiling at the guy behind you.
Yeah. They forgot immediately.
Where do you think you're at in that process?
Um, yeah, friendship has always been a little tricky for me. And I think it has a lot to do with the moving a lot. I hate that I keep bringing that up, but it's like,
What's a serious?
it it affected a lot of things. Um, but especially moving a lot at a young age, there are schools that I didn't even spend a year there.
Yeah. You think that reinforces the habit to be that chameleon type?
Yes, it did for me.
Do you feel like that stunted finding who you really were or knowing
Yes,
who that was?
it made it confusing. Um, but it also, like, I didn't learn. I think I didn't comprehend boundaries or social cues very well. Like there was
Because
a
it was
lack
confusing, they were always changing?
because those little microcultures of like
Yeah,
different
to me
schools.
that would make it more heightened, it would seem. Like you'd be innately aware of the differences between because you've changed so many times that you're like, "Oh, this was accepted there, but now it's not." That's interesting.
Maybe in some respects. The thing is, I've always been a very open person, and I've always been quick to vulnerability. And I didn't realize that that was uncommon or like unwelcome sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I've always just been curious about other people. Like, what do you think? Why do you think that? Even before I can articulate it or understand why, like, that's just a natural curiosity that I had. I was interested in other people and what they thought and what their experience was like. And that caused me to be very open, very vulnerable. And um, the older I've gotten, I've just become a lot more, just kind of pushed that a little bit more. And I can be like incredibly sincere to someone who's like not used to that. And it goes one of two ways. It makes someone very uncomfortable and suspicious,
Mm,
or they really appreciate it and they cling.
yeah.
And so I've had a lot of friendships when I was younger where people were like, dude, you're my best friend. And to me, I'm like,
You're
oh,
cool.
you're all right. Like, I don't know you that well. But, like, the vulnerability that that person shared with me, they only share with me.
Yeah.
But I'm sharing that with everybody. And so that made it hard. I feel like I have a list 20 people deep of friends that I had at a time who became very close to me, who I just kind of vanished off the face of the earth from.
From them.
Yeah.
Does that ever make you wonder? Do you have certain people that you feel like you'd be the other person now in that relationship? Like, oh shit, like this person means a lot to me, and then have to wonder, are they just gonna pick up and roll?
No, I don't
Or
worry
you
about it. If
do you
someone
not
does
do
that,
you not understand that you might like someone that much, or do you just it's not a big deal
it's not
either
a
way?
it's not a big deal. If I am friends with someone, in my mind, I'm permanently friends with them until I have a reason not to be. And time and distance doesn't really come into the equation. But also, I can't maintain a friendship that I don't get face to face interaction with. Like, because that list is so long of people that I've kind of left, it's not like I don't care about them or I, I don't want to see them, but it's just that I can't spend all day like doing the maintenance of like keeping in touch and checking in and making sure everything's making sure that we're cool. It's always been like really overwhelming for me since an early age, you know.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
can I can understand.
I remember the first time I moved when I actually had an established friendship for the first time in my life, and I was like 11 years old, and my friend gave me his phone number when I moved, and I called him once, and then it was just like a brief conversation between 11-year-olds,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, I'm not gonna hang out with him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see him anymore. So what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Just
Especially if you're not in control of your own transportation or your own anything in your life, right? It's kind of like this is.
mm-hmm.
I remember being like that.
But I have a few friends who like I was really close to for a time, and we mutually understand that we're friends, and that if I showed up, it would be cool. We would hang, and it wouldn't be like a big deal.
I think most people would be like that. They didn't talk to you for a long time, and then they see you like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Well,
Jeremy, what have you been up to? And then you guys catch up a little bit, but
sometimes, you know, that is one of the markers for me for like people who can hang around in my life is people who are forgiving about my absence.
oh yeah, well
If I
for
disappear for a
sure,
little bit,
going the other way of like,
I don't want somebody to be like, "Where the fuck have you been?
yeah,
Like, what
dude,
the
we haven't
hell?"
talked in like
Yeah,
forever.
and it's like, "Oh, like you're one of those. Like I can't.
You
I'm
need,
not one of those. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not that needy sounds like a mean word. It's not exactly needy. I'm just different, you know.
I think that's needy.
Feels needy to me,
Like, why do you? You should be doing your own thing, and when we have time to
but I feel like that's more
cross paths
normal.
again, what is
That
being upset that somebody's not putting
the
in the effort?
security, I guess.
Just seems like somebody that doesn't have much going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends
If
on.
you're busy as fuck, it's like I'll see you when I see you, dude.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
something comes up where I'm like, oh man, Jeremy would love that, I'll send it.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna like check in with you once a week and like, hey, are we still cool?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna Theo Von you on like Joe Rogan. Send you a text message because
I
you haven't talked in 3 months. Hey, are we still friends?
love that. That's so good. Yeah, but you know, I've been back in Arizona for the last over 2 years now, but I was in Jersey for 8 years. I made a lot of friends,
Yeah.
and I confidently can say I have one friend from Jersey. You know, there's one person who like I'm like, oh, they're cool. They're cool if like I'm absent, you know, and I can call them at any point, and if they're free, we'll chat. It'll be a good conversation. There's no like Why haven't you called? You know what I mean? There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But when you were asking, like, if I talk to people like I used to openly, I'm a lot more reserved now because I'm trying to be careful with understanding how I am, how I come across, how people can attach to me really quickly, and like just reserve myself for, you know, when I can actually offer somebody.
Is that because you feel obligated to give energy that you just
Yeah. And I feel a lot of
it,
guilt for,
and if there's a lot of people that would see those traits as easily attachable and then they do, you feel bad not reciprocating the level that they're bringing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, yeah, it makes me feel pretty terrible.
I think my physical image keeps that at bay.
Mm,
Most people like either look at me as unapproachable or
yeah, yeah.
just like that guy's probably a fucking dick,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool because then I don't have to deal with that because that would affect me also
Mhm.
to know that somebody's trying really hard or really wants to
Mhm.
buddy up with you and you're just like, I mean, dude, you're cool, but Jesus.
Yeah, I remember working retail and some of the nicest people I would ever talk to were the last people you would try to talk to. You know, you get some like
For what reason?
because people never talk to them because they're unapproachable looking.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Some guy comes in, looking shady with covered in what looks like maybe prison tattoos.
Oh yeah.
You give them 30 seconds of attention, they're like, "Hey," they're just like a regular, they're like Ned Flanders. And you're like, nobody knows, because they won't approach this person.
Yeah. There was a guy like that on Kinsey's softball team. He just like volunteered to be a helper coach.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, dude. White guy, stockier build, shaves his head bald, tattoos all over his head, down his neck, face, full sleeves, full leg sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
He wears like a very like cholo style clothing, like the basketball shorts that are way too long for no reason.
Yeah.
A tall tee that goes down to like almost his knees.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at him like, dude, like how long have you been gangbanging? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Nah, I just like
And
the
I
style.
and I asked Kinsey, I was like, "What's the deal with that guy?" Because like, if you're making me feel weird, dude, you're above and beyond. Because feeling like that about myself, I give everyone like a little extra,
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt. And then I saw that guy, I'm like, "Holy shit, this dude looks like he's straight out of prison." Like,
Mm-hmm.
like the tattoos are shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they're everywhere. He didn't give a fuck. There was no like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I might have an interview ever in my life. I'll just tattoo this tiger on my face. Like, holy shit,
Yeah.
dude. And I asked Kinsey, I'm like, what's that? And like, what's that guy's deal? He's like, oh my God, he's like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
We need those walking contradictions out in the world.
But how about now for you, back on that?
Yeah, well,
How big would you say your circle is?
oh, it's microscopic. I mean, I have the people around who are beneficial for me, who I feel that I am beneficial for. And I don't have a huge threshold for number of friends.
Why?
It's exhausting, and I'm not good at the maintenance part.
Why is that your problem? That seems like a self-solving issue. If they're the type that needs the maintenance, they'll eventually peel off because you're not going to provide it.
Yeah,
And then you'll just be left with the ones you really wanted, which were the ones that didn't need it.
And the people in my life are not requiring of maintenance. But I think I put a lot of pressure on myself because the most valuable thing we can give each other in this life is our time.
Considering it's a
And when someone really means a lot to me, I want to give them my time every once in a while. And so I can't have a lot of people because I don't have a lot of time. So it's like the people that I will make time for physically, maybe 3. And then I have probably 3 maybe others who I'm comfortable with calling up every once in a while and seeing how they're doing and knowing that I'm going to get a good conversation out of
Yeah.
it. But what's kind of weird about friendship, though, is like if you're going through a breakup, there's a social recognition. Like, oh, he's got his heart broken. You all right?
From who?
Just like a romantic relationship, you going through.
No, but I mean, like, who's saying that?
I don't know, maybe a friend.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah,
I'll-
but
Go
what
ahead.
I'm getting at
I'll
is
let it develop before I
when
say.
you lose a friend, there's almost no recognition.
Oh yeah, it's.
There's not anyone who's like, "Are you all right?" Like,
It doesn't
what
affect your
happened?
life that much usually. If you've lost them, unless it ended like.
No, it does. I think it can for sure.
I think it depends on the way it was just. If it dissipated,
Well,
like
it's
just
not as
kind of
intertwined.
evaporated, then whatever.
Yeah.
But if it did something that was like, that's fucked and I'm done with this, that's a bigger impact.
Has that happened to you?
What? A friendship doing that?
Yeah.
Not really. Like, not in like adulthood.
Yeah.
But the evaporative ones, they're just whatever. It's not one way or another. It's just kind of like you lost interest, I lost interest. We were no longer filling those gaps for each other where you had something that I needed to work on and I had something you wished you had.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing this thing together. I think people just grow apart. And that doesn't really seem like that big of a deal to me.
Yeah, probably not.
They also just fall into the category at that point of like if you called me or if I bumped into you at the store, I'd be like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And then I have people that I'm just like, if I bump into them, I'm like, fuck, and I turn the cart and I'm like trying to go the other way. Dude, that happened just like the other day.
Oh shit.
A guy that I worked with when I was very, very new, like first started at the water treatment facility at Palo Verde.
Mm-hmm.
He came in at a discount and I saw him walking in and I was already sitting in a chair. I was like, well, I'll just be on my phone. I don't know if he ended up noticing me or not, but
Oh, it felt so good to not live in this state for that reason alone.
yeah,
Like,
because
oh,
that
God, I don't wanna
interaction
bump
was
into
just
people.
gonna have to be fake. I don't really.
It's weird how it's like, oh, we have to interact because we locked eyes.
Yeah, and we know each other from 10 years ago. It's like, I'd be cool with a, what's up, dude?
Yep.
Hey, man.
I remember.
But some people can't let it go. Oh, dude, what are you doing? How you been? Where are you? What have you been? I'm good.
Nope.
I don't want to do this.
What if you just said no? How you been? No.
We're not doing that today.
Nope. I remember you.
Because then, yeah, it's like one of those, like you were just talking about. They might care about your situation
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot more than you care about theirs.
Yeah.
And then it's awkward.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to keep the answer short. They want to tell you everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't have anything going on, and you have a lot. I
Right.
struggle with that a lot, dude. People that ask me shit. Hey, what's been going on?
Where do I start?
Dude, when was the last time we talked? 4 months ago? Holy fuck. All right, dude, sit down. Let's get get a notebook out.
Yeah.
Nobody is actually asking for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you came over here to start this, we talked for like fucking 45 minutes, and I didn't see you for 1 week.
Right. Yeah.
That was 45 minutes of shit
I've learned a lot.
that I needed a data dump out to get us back to where we were a week and a half ago. Can you imagine someone I haven't talked to for 4 years? What have you been up to?
Yeah.
You still work at Palo Verde? Like, oh, fuck, we're that far out? Dude, don't even worry about it. But no, I'm not. Oh, what are you
Yeah.
doing now? Oh, Christ. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
How do you identify? Like, how do you... I'm only asking because I don't know, and I'd like to be better at it. But how do you get... What's your process of identifying someone who has the potential to be meeting the things that are going to intrigue you enough where you want to put in the energy and the time of creating a relationship because they might be on a trajectory that you want to assimilate to?
How do I select?
Like, are there social cues you look for? Are there...
The number one thing is like reciprocal vulnerability. Like I think that
Oh, that's probably a good one.
it is it's one of the most courageous things a person can do is just be themselves. Because it's really hard. It backfires a lot. And no one's like celebrating those little victories with you. Like it's
Yeah.
a battle you fight completely on your own, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
So like if you're
it's
gonna go out there and be
it's
yourself,
optional and it has a gigantic negative feedback loop usually attached to it, but you just keep doing it.
so I mean I equate that to vulnerability. Like if you're being yourself, it's inherently vulnerable. And if I see someone who is like undeniably being themselves, we don't even have to have a lot in common. I'm just like, you, what's your deal? Because I know I'm gonna get a lot of information from that person, and it's gonna be like dead true.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna bullshit me because that's not even in their like chemistry. You know, I've met a few people like that, and a lot of them are fucking pretty zany. You know, they're a little having a hard time socially because some people are to themselves. You know, especially in the world of artists, there's a lot of very eccentric people. But you know, I really appreciate that. So
I
I mean,
didn't mean
that's
to
something I
laugh. That
look
just
for.
reminded me of the Kanye West tweet that was talking about
Great example.
blowjobbing his cousin when he was 14 or whatever the hell it was about. I never even saw it, but I was just like,
I
Jesus
would talk to Kanye
Christ. I would too.
if I saw him walking around acting like that, saying stuff that he says. I'd be like, "Hey, let's
He's
talk."
he's fucking borderline because you got to watch it. There's actually people that are just mentally ill and they're just saying weird shit.
Oh, a lot of them are probably.
I was on a ship with a guy like that. He was a cook, and we would catch him like 2 in the morning.
Hmm.
So the division that the people are in that like do the cooking of the food, they also it's just supply chain, right? So whatever, getting the mail, doing the ship's laundry, cooking the food, like all that shit is in one department.
Yeah.
So he was a cook, but like sometimes he's up till 2 in the morning because he had laundry duty that day and he had to get all this shit done before morning time. And I would get off watch at like 4 in the morning and I would go work out because we had to be up like meeting together for the morning at like 6. So I didn't have much time. So I would leave and it'd be like 3:30 in the morning. You get relieved from your watch a little bit earlier sometimes than you should if the person's awake, and they come relieve you, and then you go down. I get dressed and go down there, and you had to pass the laundry room to get to the gym in the back of the ship. And we caught him one time down there, just like harnessing some fucking energy and like
Oh yeah.
throwing shit. And I was like, come down the stairs, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, this is like too good to just turn away from and just let this go. And then at some point, he saw me seeing him, and I was like, yeah, did you good? Yeah, I got him.
I got him.
Oh shit.
Oh Jesus, dude.
Dude, you just see him like full on having conversations with himself. There's no one around. He's sitting there. Yeah, yeah. Laughing to himself. I'm like, oh fuck.
About to go Super Saiyan.
I had to go like talk to people about it. I'm like, hey, did this fucking guy, he's on a warship, dude. Did he get a screening? Like, what's happening? He's like, he's good. He's a good guy. I'm not debating that he's a nice person.
Yeah.
But when the guy he's talking to says to kill me in my sleep with a pair of scissors, is he gonna do it?
Mm-hmm.
So you have those types of people, and Kanye's right on that fucking line, dude.
Oh,
Like he
yeah.
goes in and out of these personalities. That's like, no, see, he's a serious person. He's artistic. He's good at that. He knows what he wants. He has the conviction to get it done,
Mm-hmm.
and he has lived a very extravagant life because of those choices. And then like one night it seems like he got drunk and flipped over to the other side. That was just like,
Yeah.
I was raped when I was 14, and I'm gonna tell you guys about it.
Oh, God.
Why?
Yeah.
You don't know any of these people.
But I do like the eccentric artist types that I've met who are like who treat social interaction almost like an experiment, and they're likely to like just drop random weird information or do something absurd to just kind of see how people react.
Don't you think
Yeah.
that's almost a coping strategy? I've used it. That's why I
Sure.
asked that. That way I just have I have it in my back pocket of
Mhm.
like, dude, you're weird as fuck. I'm like, I'm just messing with you guys, dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just wanted the reaction. I did
Yeah,
want the
yeah.
reaction,
yeah.
but I also wanted an excuse in case it didn't go that well.
Right.
know, I'm not saying I wouldn't have told you this at some point,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do it early just to see how you deal with it, and it gives me a way out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yep. So, um, the sense that someone's being themselves, that's a big part of the criteria for me. Um, it's important to me too that like I can get really deeply philosophical in conversation, and then say like a really inappropriate joke in the middle of that. And I can be in the middle of a really like lighthearted joking situation and throw something really deep out. And I like to kind of hopscotch between those two worlds. I don't want to get too heavy to the point where it's like not okay to joke, and I don't want to joke to the point where it's not okay to like express something serious. So someone who like has a who's able to like have a deep and meaningful conversation but also has a sense of humor throughout, you know? Like
Okay.
those that's really important to me because I have had friends who like oh, I can like have really great conversation with them, but it's just so like suffocating, because I also have to like check myself and not say that stupid joke
Mm.
that comes to mind. And it's fun to joke around with my fun joke around friend, but like I can only take so much of that before I need actual substance to be thrown into the conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just one way or the other, so it's a pretty select group.
Yeah, when you get into the intricacies of everything like that, you start realizing like you thought the shit was small already, and then you hear someone else describe something like that, and you're like, yeah, no, I feel that same way. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want somebody. I can handle that in doses.
Yeah.
It's tolerable for a certain amount of time, and then at some point you're like, cool, I gotta get the fuck out of here and like release this other side of my
Right.
energy that I got.
Yeah.
I also watched Jonah Hill. You know what I'm talking about? The actor.
Yeah.
He did a movie. Damn, dude, it's like Schutz or Schultz or it's the last name of his psychiatrist or something that he was hanging out with for a long time, and he did a movie about him,
Mm.
and he caught him being a comedian. He caught him doing something when it was uncomfortable. He made a joke. It's a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
And he called him out on it and was like, hey, we've talked about that. I asked you a very serious question, and you're skirting the question by being funny when it's not a funny time. It just kind of reminded me of that you
Yeah.
also, I would watch it for yourself
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of cool. Because in the movie, I can't remember the sentiment. I think that was during the time I was smoking a lot of fucking weed, and I just would watch movies and then not remember a thing about them. But I think the guy's dying of cancer or something,
Mm.
and that's why he wanted to do the movie. He wanted to document that guy's approach at like mental medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very cool, and it was very enlightening in a lot of ways. I took a lot of the things he said in that movie and applied them to my own life or just things that I do, and that was one of them that I caught that was like, oh shit, I do that for sure. When things are
Yeah.
uncomfortable, let me look for a joke. Let me lighten the mood.
Yeah. Sure.
And we start using that as a way to get out of having to actually get into things that are difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonah Hill catches him doing it when they like
Mm.
they like do a role reversal thing, like, okay, now I'm the therapist and you're the client.
Yeah.
And he starts asking him very personal shit about his life. I think he is dying because he asked like, hey, like, so what's going to happen with your wife when you pass away?
Mm.
He had like a terminal illness or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's
Yeah.
when this happens, what do you think? And he was like, oh, yeah, they'll probably go through my shirts and have a good time picking out my clothes, or like said something so
Right.
fucking retarded that was like, that's not what I'm
Yeah.
asking, and
Yeah.
you know it.
Yeah.
And he caught him. He's like, hey, you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you're right. You're right. Okay, sorry. Let me.
Yeah.
So it's something like we all do.
It's easy to do that. Yeah. I find it necessary in those specific moments when I'm like having a deeper conversation because, I, like, I'm not super affected by certain ideas as much as other people are, and I feel the need to kind of sometimes throw a joke out there for their comfort. Like I had a client the other day who somehow we got into this conversation of like how everybody's alone in a sense. Like the only person who like nobody knows you as well as you know yourself. and your experience of reality is utterly unique to you. And so there is just like a separation that everybody has from each other. And they got really like bummed out about that idea, you know? But I just thought that was interesting, you know? And there's a lot of moments I've had like that where I'll talk about something that maybe shines light on something that's like a little bit of a darker truth.
Yeah.
But I think that it's interesting and I'm curious about it. But another person is like, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when I'm like, that's when I throw a joke out and I'm like, you know, try to, you know, throw some light on the more optimistic side of it, or like just not
I might
have
do
it so
that.
weighty.
Yeah. I might do that for the that'll be a two-part system. I'll do that solely for that moment because I don't want to be stuck in that like I don't mind being in this really dark place. But if somebody voices they're like I can't, I'm not going to do this. I'll lighten it up for them for their sake, but I immediately take down a note that they're
Mm-hmm.
not ready for truth.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
big fucking deal too with the whole friendship conversation is like
yeah,
I think it will drive me away
100%.
because I don't want to live in a fallacy. I don't want to live in a fantasy land where we hope things are the way that we would like. They're fucking not, dude. And you just got to accept it and let's deal with it. To get to a place where you want to be, you have to identify the things you don't want.
Right,
If you just want to believe that shit is still good when it's not, that's not for me. I don't have time for
right.
that.
So we talked a little bit about like what we're looking for in a friendship to be friends. So what on that note, like what are some things that we're definitely not looking for?
Yeah.
You know, I totally agree with you. I would frame it as like, yeah, anyone who's like allergic to truth or reality, that's a red flag for me. I'm like, oh, because you want to be occupying the same reality as the people that you communicate with.
I don't know how you could communicate without doing that. How can you effectively communicate when someone's trying to not be there and you want to explore something?
Yeah, you know,
It's
you can't. You
impossible.
can't. There's going to be too many gaps, and then that's when there's just like essentially like a language barrier. I do think we're kind of like accelerating towards this metaphoric Tower of Babel reality where everybody's individual realities have become so personally specific that communicating between people is going to be harder and harder because we'll be using different languages. We'll be understanding and interpreting the world differently.
That's already happening so hardcore that
Yeah.
from one generation to the next,
Yeah,
from ours to like my kids.
and it's speeding up too, the gaps between
Oh,
generations.
dude, it is getting, yeah, for sure.
I could
But
probably.
that is the whole that that younger group of people is all living in that. You could be whatever you want to be. It's however you feel today.
Mm,
They're getting told that that's okay and reaffirmed all that shit. And then
mhm.
normal adults are trying to figure out where they're at, and it's just a constantly moving thing. And I don't have to be specific about anything. It's just that's how I feel that day, or this is what I'm thinking this day. No, they're dodging the hard pieces, and without hard pieces, there's no growth. So why would you want to struggle through an idea
Mhm.
when you could just choose to believe it's not real? I could be a girl if I want.
Well, I
No, you
mean,
fucking can't.
fluidity is is part of what it's like to be a human, but we've just never thought to define ourselves as such a thing. We just kind of know it and move on.
What do you mean? Fluidity.
It's a common word used today.
Fuck you.
Um,
Like in what way pertaining to humans?
well, people talk about it with gender. That's a big part of the conversation, but it's just fluidity in the sense that like no one's anchored in place, that they're different day to day dependent upon the infinite variables.
Yeah, but you can't apply that to things that are.
But some people are like, my identity is as someone who is fluid. But it's like, well, yeah, that's everybody, but like, why are you anchoring your whole identity to this idea? You know, that's what's weird. Anybody who, there's another red flag for you. Anybody who defines themselves based upon a group or like whatever it is, like fluid, um, anything related to their sexuality as a defining trait of who they are. Like, no. Any groups they affiliate with, you know?
Any of that.
Even if I 100% ideologically agree with it,
Yeah.
I do not agree with the
Yeah.
defining yourself by,
I'm a Democrat.
yeah,
Cool.
a group.
Good for you.
That's like who you are. That's
Yeah.
like what your world revolves around. I'm like, well, then we don't occupy the same reality.
Yeah.
And it's going to be too hard to communicate, so I'm not going to do that. You know, the world needs some of those people sometimes, you know, needs like advocates for things that are important, but I'm not one of those people and I'm not interested in being a part of that.
Yeah, me neither. I just don't I don't like people that are super close-minded to things. So judgmental behavior, if you're super judgmental of other things that other people are doing and not just like, "Oh, like really that's interesting." If that's not your approach to almost everything, I'm probably out.
Yeah.
Because that means that you live within these strict confines of only what you've already experienced and deem are okay for you.
Mhm.
Cool. That's you. I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't care what I'm doing.
Mhm.
But knowing that the root of fear is in all things unknown,
Right.
someone who's already being judgmental about things that they just don't like or wouldn't agree with them for themselves, you're going to get fucking mad and weird and fearful about everything that you don't know about.
Mhm.
That's not a safe place to bring up conversations around other things or anything else that's going to deem being important for a relationship that I want to have. So, as soon as that happens, it's out.
I have like a fear of being tricked. And when someone, like, I feel like we live in a world that's like actively trying to discourage us from discovering who we are. And I don't think that it's like something that was purposely engineered that way. I just think it's the result. Where,
I think the result is making more money,
yeah, it has a lot to do with marketing and brands, right?
pop
Because,
culture, and
you know, you're not, before you even have the faculty of mind to start to, you know, pick apart who you are and make those decisions, Nike's jumped in front of that and it said like you're a Nike consumer.
yeah,
You're a Monster drinker, you're a Ford driver, you
Yeah.
know? And these are all things that people start tying their identity to. And I feel like they've been tricked.
that's
Oh,
fucking
you got tricked.
literally everyone.
Right. So that's
In one way or another. You'll have people deny that.
right.
You'll have people deny that shit, and then, oh, you're a Ford guy? Fucking found on road dead.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they all have their issues.
Do you drive a Ford?
Not anymore. I've driven everything, and I've blown everything up, and I've ruined everything. They're all the fucking same.
Yeah, but who are you?
Whichever one's fucking running at the time.
Yeah.
That is the fucking dumbest shit ever. I hate that. If you fucking say something like that around me and I hear it, I'm immediately like, nice.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. I wasted no time. I knew
Yeah,
exactly what I needed to know.
But that exists, you know, everywhere on every level, and I found it, you know, as a musician too. I mean, if you want to be a successful musician, what you're really selling is an identity. Sell something that someone can identify with and relate to. The music is secondary. You know, like people like Blink 182. What culture liked Blink 182?
Teens.
Be more specific. California skateboarding teens, how about?
I guess.
Skateboarders. Dude, when I saw a Blink 182 fan when I was young, they were skateboarding. And that was a part of that culture, right?
Well, isn't that just by happenstance then? Like, They're making the music. They're talking
Potentially.
about what they like. And
Right.
people that find an interest in what they like are also interested in what they're talking about. I don't think that's
Mm,
necessarily.
I disagree.
What
I
do you
don't think
mean?
people are often even paying attention to what they're saying. They're looking at,
This is where we differ hugely when it comes to music.
well, you, but I'm
Yeah.
saying in general, people are looking at the aesthetic, the sound aesthetic,
Well,
right?
it's got to
So the
sound good.
genre,
What's got to sound good to attract you to
but
it?
that genre is a group of people. We're all somewhat similar, right?
I would have never thought of that.
Think of metalheads. You can spot a metalhead out in the wild pretty quick.
But there's also people that do stuff that you'd look at them and be like, I had no idea.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking
The
about the
producer tag,
exceptions.
Mike Will made it,
Uh,
who only does hip hop and rap music. What do you think he looks like?
Right, there are all
He looks like somebody out of fucking Avenged Sevenfold, dude.
there are
It is
absolutely
weird. I
there,
looked him up one time. I
yeah,
was like, what the fuck? I was not expecting that.
of course, there are absolutely exceptions,
That's true. And I don't want to deal with
and they stand out even harder because it is so generalized,
yeah, I guess I proved your point on the same note,
right?
right?
So, yeah, I don't know. I just sometimes I look at the world and I just see a bunch of people scrambling to figure out who they are through other people or other things or products or,
I see a bunch of people that haven't even thought about who they are.
well, if they've already decided.
They've thought about how do I blend in?
Mm-hmm.
They've thought about how do I surround myself with people that are doing the same things I feel comfortable doing.
Mm-hmm.
But like even until recently when we've talked and like we did that exercise where it was describe who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? And it's the first thing that most people do is, well, I'm an electrician.
Right.
I do this, I do that. I have kids. I'm a father. I'm a husband. These are not anything to do with you. Everybody is these things and they might be completely different than you.
Right.
And it is extremely weird. So I don't think that's probably not fair to say either because I'm not representative of probably a lot of people, but I never even fucking thought about it, dude. It never crossed my mind until like 30 years old that I should really know what I like. What am I into? And it's also strange because that vulnerability portion comes into play. And when someone asks you, like, well, what do you like to do? It's not the coolest thing in the world to say, I really enjoy having a couple fucking stiff drinks and getting behind the wheel of a Razor and just fucking rapping it out. Going nuts.
That sounds pretty cool
In
to
a
me.
fucking truck, in a Jeep, anything. Anything I can drive fast as shit, way faster than I should, in a very reckless way. And I enjoy it much more if I'm slightly drunk. That's my number one activity, dude.
Yeah.
One, it's fucking illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it's extremely irresponsible. You're endangering yourself and everyone around you. Is that really the thing you're going to use to a fucking crowd of people? Like, hey, what are you into? I like getting fucked up and just trashing vehicles. What the kind of fucking psycho is this?
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm pretty normal otherwise. Like I hold it down pretty good, but I suppress that urge to just be like in that mindset all the fucking time.
It's a weird thing about socializing where there's this like unspoken expectation. If someone says, who are you or what do you like? You have an idea of the kind of answer they're looking for.
Yeah,
Why? Isn't that weird?
it is
But
weird.
we do.
It's more weird that we follow it.
Right, yeah.
We give into it. Not only do we know what they're looking for, we'll drop down to like our fifth favorite thing and give them that
Uh-huh.
because fishing is more normal than fucking up Jeeps. Like,
Or not even more normal, but I think that this person will respond to this thing
or we might
more than the thing that's
the way that they're dressed and the things that they're wearing and the brands that they're holding all suggest, oh, you got a Yeti cup? You
Mm-hmm.
probably do like camping or off-road shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick that one. We can assimilate over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Well, what are you going to do though? And that's all for social.
Lubrication.
Yeah. What are you going to, hey, what do you like to do? And they're wearing fucking Billabong flip-flops. They got long hair and they're smoking a joint. Like, you are a stoner guy. You're not going to like anything I do because I don't do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing to tell you. Oh, you want me to be honest? And then I tell you the thing I'm into, and you're like, right on, cool, see ya. That's it. That's the end of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just take it one step further of looking at them and then being like, dude, we probably have nothing in common. Before I answer this, we probably have nothing going on that we want to talk about,
Yeah.
which is fine.
And sometimes, I don't know, like, you're even differentiated from the group you would assume that you would relate to. Like, maybe you meet someone who's really into, like, off-road driving shit, and you tell them what you just told me about the stiff drinks thing, and they're like, I would never drink and drive.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
dude,
like, and
you'll
then you're
find
like,
that
oh
too.
shit, I almost thought you were my people, and then I know.
And then the judgment starts. For most of those people, it's super judgy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, you are a fucking piece of shit out there just killing families, probably. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been in an accident in my life.
You know, when I was younger, I thought like, oh, everybody seems to like have a thing, and I don't have a thing. And then I started playing guitar, and I'm like, oh, music's my thing. And then I end up around, years later, I'm in a room full of musicians. I'm like, these are not my people. Like I could have swore I found them. I've been at parties where I'm like, you got a group of guys standing around debating about which is the best Beatles album, and then they look to me, and I'm like, I don't have an opinion on that. I don't care.
I couldn't name one Beatles song. I'm sorry, I'm out.
I can name a song. I don't have any particularly strong criticisms or feelings about it. Like that lack of allegiance that I have to a brand.
Yeah.
It's the same with musicians. I think like there's music I love and I'm like it inspires me. It changed my views in a bunch of different ways. I don't care beyond that. Like I don't need to know the personal life history of the guy who wrote the song. I really don't need to. I got as much as I wanted from it. That's just me, but it makes me a real outcast in the world of musicians who do know all those things,
I want to be extremely immersive in one category, and you're just not.
Every musician's like a fucking historian somehow of like music, They've heard everything. I just hear it, and I really, at a certain point, started to felt it was better that I recognized myself as a peer to musicians, and in that frame of mind, I hear a Beatles song. I go, that's really good. That's a really cool idea. That was a cool way to express yourself, and that's it. I'm not like fanboying over anything.
Why do you think people do that?
Identity.
But why?
Do what?
The fanboy shit. The it's not okay to just like.
Well, some people just have a genuine obsession, and it's just that's what really starts to qualify it as a hobby. When someone has a hobby, they tend to like learn as much as possible about the things they love. Some people are, I find it more often in people who are like fans, who are not often musicians, tend to have that extensive knowledge, right? Because that's part of their hobby is they want to know everything about the Beatles, and they want to own the shirt from the concert from the year they were born or something. Like I don't know.
What the fuck is that? I don't get any of that, dude. I don't get it.
I don't get why some people are super into trains, and like building train sets that circle their house.
I don't have any of those things. I used to be really annoyed. I'm still kind of annoyed that I just don't have a thing.
But I think
have 1,000 fucking things.
Yeah.
That I put every bit of mental effort and physical effort into doing, learning about, acquiring, using it until I get to the point where the fans of that thing would be like, now I'm gonna take all the money and time that I've spent acquiring 95% knowledge of this thing, and I'm gonna apply that same amount to get the last 5%. That's when I'm always out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of every hobby for me. Not that I won't come back and do it, But that's where the obsession went away. I'm fucking obsessed. Whatever I'm doing, I'm obsessed until I figured out everything there is to know about it except the last 5 to 10%. And
Yeah.
I'm no longer willing for the diminished returns that you're getting on your investment of effort, time, and money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I love long range shooting until it hits the point where the optic you need to put on the rifle now costs 8 times as much as the whole rifle you built that went up to that point.
Yeah.
Oh, you're shooting 4-inch groups at 1,000 yards. If you want to shoot a 4-inch group at a mile, which is roughly double that gun you spent $5,000 on, you got to spend $25,000 to go to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's all right.
Yeah, you're not.
The fucking juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore.
Yeah, that's for the people who that's their singular hobby.
And where do I get to that? How do I find that?
Who says you have to? Maybe your thing is collecting hobbies.
Fuck, it's annoying.
I
It's
relate
annoying
to you.
everybody around me.
I relate
I'll
to
buy
you.
something, I'll drive it for a little bit, like, this is fucking cool. Get super obsessed with it, and then look into like, wow, how much is the suspension on this Jeep to fucking get me to the level where I could go through 3-foot whoops and the fucking car doesn't move, only the tires are moving. I'm like, that's badass. How much is that?
What is it?
$9,000. But the Jeep was $2,500. I'm not fucking doing that. That's dumb.
Yeah. It makes me curious about what you're chasing exactly. Are you looking for in all these things? Is it that you imagine an experience and then want to live it to know what it's like?
I think it's some of that, but I also think I'm just curious about so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a limit to my curiosity.
For me, I'm just like, I get curious and it's a need to understand something. But once I've reached the point of understanding, I don't care at all anymore. I would never buy the gun. Like, I would just be like interested in how it functions and why it functions in that way. And once I reach that level of knowledge, I don't care anymore. But it will gnaw at me until I do. Like, it happens a lot with music. My cousin used to listen to music to fall asleep. I cannot do that. If I'm laying there and a song's playing, I'm just thinking, oh, it's a cool guitar part. I wonder how they made that. Oh, they did it like that. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. How would I do that,
Yeah.
How did they accomplish that? And then I have all these questions. I'll obsessively listen to this song on repeat for a week. And then I reach a point of like, okay, I get it. And I just will never listen to it again, Like,
that's the same thing.
Yeah. But for me, it's just an understanding is my threshold. It's once I reach that. But for you, it seems a little bit more like the experience side of it.
Yeah. When I get that like fresh, like excited thing, like, ooh, this is new.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that going to be like? And then I do it, and I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
yeah.
Cool.
It's fucking annoying. I buy and sell just everything.
Yeah.
Because then it's about I know one more thing is coming after this. There's never like the end of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know I always have to buy things at a good deal, or else when I'm done with this in 6 months and I've learned all I can and I put the amount of money in that I expected to put in and nothing more, I got to be able to get that money back out because the next hobby's coming.
Yeah.
It might be slightly lower than when I went in because you never fully recoup everything you put in unless you got a retarded deal that you found somewhere, but you got to fight over those deals usually. But it's always I gotta look for a good deal. I gotta find somebody that's getting rid of it because they hate it, or they don't know something about it that I know, or that I can maximize my return on investment so that I can make that money back and then just turn it into this next thing. And then you have people that just fucking you look around their yard and you can see every hobby they ever had.
Oh yeah, my dad was like
dude,
that.
What the fuck? Are you gonna use that again? Nah, get rid of it.
Yeah, my dad was like that. I asked him.
My brother still has like a VW powered sand drill that he had when I was like a sophomore in high school.
That's cool.
Just sits in his fucking C-Vans out there. I'm like, dude, dude, one day I'm gonna fix the turbo and I'm gonna take it to the dunes. Why? You have a razor. That thing works 10 times better than that old ass shit. You're never gonna use that again.
My dad would just when online shopping first became a thing. I remember asking him, like, what do you do on work? He's like, I online shop mostly. This is like pre-Amazon. And like once a week, a random thing would show up, and I can remember a few of them. One was a stunt kite. Yeah. If you didn't know, there's another level above
Two
kites,
two
and
handled
it's stunt kite.
two
Yeah.
handled kites.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool
I've never got one. My mom was dating a dude that was really into that,
Mm-hmm.
and he took us out to the park one time to do it, and it fucking picked me up off the ground.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as a little
That's
kid,
the dream.
I was scared. I'm like, this is fucking dumb. What are we
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah, he did that, and then it was telescopes, and then it was scuba diving.
You know what's funny
Just a bunch of random.
is that
shit.
we're very similar in age, and the
Mhm.
things that you're describing were things that were happening all around me, either to my own dad or the men that my mother was dating.
Interesting.
All of those things you just said.
Motorcycles.
Yes.
I remember my day, the day that like my dad decided I'm gonna be a motorcycle guy. You know, I can tell that was the thought in his head. Not that I'm gonna go get a motorcycle. I'm gonna be a motorcycle guy. He came back with the fucking leather
Fucking chaps.
chaps and the vest, and he bought like the saddlebags and the whole like outfit. You know.
Yeah.
2 months later, just never rode that thing again.
It's funny because I try to not be that guy that quickly just buys all the gear to look play the part.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if I like a motorcycle, I'll fucking ride a motorcycle.
Right.
But then you go places and people are looking at you like, I got into
What are
mountain
you?
biking for a
I
little bit.
remember extreme mountain biking, if I remember correctly.
Extremely vomiting at the top of the fucking hill.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody at work was getting, hey, oh, you should come. I got an extra bike. Just come on. I'm like, all right, I'll ride yours and just check it out. I was like, fuck, this is pretty fun. All right, maybe I'll bite the bullet and I'll look for a deal. And when I go find a deal, I'll get one and go out with you guys. So I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get there and I'm like wearing just regular like Nike fucking whatever shoes. And they're like, oh, dude, you don't have the 511s with the fucking. No.
There's an outfit for everything, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, why you? Oh, you don't have the Fox jersey that wicks sweat away and fucking.
Yeah. You ever been golfing? No one's worse than golfers at
Because
like, wear
you
your
have
pants.
to. Dude, you have to.
Do you?
It's a fucking requirement. I just
Yeah.
found that out recently.
Oh, God.
That I asked that question about a bunch of golfer dudes when I was working the outage out there at the plant.
Mm.
And I was like, why do you guys all wear like goofy fucking shirts and retarded fucking pants with like flamingos and stupid T-Rexes and shit all over? Like, what is the deal? And they were like, it's kind of like, it's like rebellious culture because the establishment won't let you come on unless it's like slack shorts or slack pants, that style, like work slacks,
Mm-hmm.
and your shirt has to be a collared shirt.
Yeah.
They won't let you in.
Gate kept.
Like, what? Why are we trying to be fucking fancy? And then I talk to these dudes who are all woolly mammoth fucking beard having dudes who sneak in shitloads of alcohol and just get completely hammered and trash their golf carts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but the collared shirt, folks, that's what we need around here. Dude, anyone can wear a collared shirt and they come in and fuck your shit up anyways.
But yeah.
Who cares?
Well, I think golf is kind of like related to like high society.
It is.
So it's like,
but why are we propagating
have a
that,
uniform?
Like, if you golf, you're obviously up there with us. No. There's a bunch of hillbillies that just want to wreck your shit and get wasted and have a good time laughing about it.
Yeah.
That's most of golf.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because until this was explained to me, I was like, you fucking golf, dude? That's gay as shit. I want to go out there and hit a ball that I have no ability to control and then act like I'm going to only hit it 4 times to get it in that little hole at the end. You're out of your mind, dude. How do you even start doing that, thinking that that's going to be what you want to do?
Well, what if they reframed it and said, hey, you want to drive a little golf cart around and stand in the sun for hours? Hang out, get drunk. And sometimes we'll hit a ball.
Right. And that's what they did. They started showing me videos of them hanging out of the golf cart where they're fucking running it through sand traps and everybody's having a fucking ball. I'm like, that looks funny.
Right, yeah.
But none of that is hitting the ball with the stick. I don't want to do any of that. And neither does anybody else.
Yeah.
But you got to wear a collared shirt.
But we build ways for us to interact socially around things like that, like fishing or something, right? Like fishing's a good one because it's like most of the time you're just sitting there. Most of the time you're hoping to catch something.
Well, yeah, it's fishing, not
But
catching.
it's really just right. It's really just an excuse to kind of get together and socialize with this like activity that also has your attention, so it's not just two guys staring at each other waiting for the next one to talk.
Yeah.
That helps.
A
Little
lot of people do that
activities
with
like that help.
smoking. That they just pick it up
Oh yeah, dude.
for the
That's
social aspect of it,
oh
of
yeah.
doing something with your hand while you're bullshitting with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Samesies.
There's a lot of that.
All right.
We got off on a little
A
tirade
little
there.
tirade there. That's okay. That's all right. People love it. I can tell. Ending thoughts. Anything comes to your mind? I'm wondering. Who was your closest friend? How did they become so? Or what makes a lasting friendship? Is there a such thing as too many for you?
Too many friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's just never gonna be because my criteria is too strict.
Yeah. But also your mental threshold. I think everybody's kind of got a limit.
I wouldn't know what it was. Because I enjoy it. Like, when you say that it's exhausting.
Mm.
Me and Tiffany, like, just polar opposites in this. Where, like, she has to go to work and there's going to be a thing that she has to talk at. And she's, like, freaking the fuck out and has this presentation to do. And she's, like, going to throw up. She's so, like, nervous about this. And, like,
Mm-hmm.
she even says she has to, like, pump herself up. She'll drink pre workout
Mm-hmm.
to go to a meeting where she just knows she has to mingle with people.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what?
Put pressure on herself. Yeah.
And then I'm the guy that, like, if I sit in my chair too long and, like, nothing's happening, I'll just start going walking around the room and talking to people about shit.
She probably loves having you around because then she can just kind of toss you out there to
Oh,
be the
she does.
mingler, and then
Yeah.
she's like, "Sweet, I can just hang back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never got that where it's like, man, I get rejuvenated from just intaking new perspectives about shit. So I'll just find them. I'll just go make
Same.
people say them.
As long as that's what's happening, I get absolutely depleted by small talk or just like empty conversation. I start literally thinking nothing is being said. No information is being exchanged right now. We're just talking about, hey, how's it going? How are you? How's work? Well, crazy weather we're having.
Yeah.
I'm like, kill me.
Yeah.
Kill
that
me.
that is horrible. Being stuck with just somebody like, we got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening here, or they're just closed off. So there's just one word answers to all of your questions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sweet,
Yep.
cool, man. Have a good time. See you later.
Thanks.
I'll just do that. I'll just disengage.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Cool. Anything else you want to say? Being selective with friends.
Yeah, it's just everybody's game. I think, man. You got to figure out what's for you and what's not for you, and just kind of hold to your shit.
It's tough, you got to be willing to kind of maybe disappoint some people who really want you around who like just aren't benefiting your lives. I mean, there are some friends out there who really lose their way and maybe you have like a connection with them because you knew them for a long time, but the stuff that they're doing doesn't make sense for you in your life. You don't need to be around that. It's going to pull you further away from where you're trying to go.
Yep.
Yep.
And just something we've kind of both hit on is be confident in who you are and what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and use that opportunity to give as a way to exclude.
Yeah.
It's the fastest, least draining way
Mm-hmm.
to determine a friendship, or at least the base of a friendship that would need to be there. Don't wait. Just do it. Do it sooner
Mm-hmm.
than it needs, just to get it done and out there, and you can find out a whole lot of shit that would have taken you months, and now you're pissed you put the effort in.
Yeah. Yeah, just go out there and be yourself, and you're going to be saving years of time that other people are burning up. Yeah, 'cause people will just fall away, and others will come to you.
That's it, man.